We're in the Champions League this year, and our odds of winning it are 10,000 to 1, even better than the Leicester City odds. So surely we're going to see a good result for us. I mean, I don't think it will happen, but it does make a very good title, doesn't it? Quick recap, we're in the Hungarian division with Budapest Honvéd, which is the side that Puskas used to play for. We have gone from the second division up to the first division, come second 2 years in a row, just came first, and now we're in the Champions League this season. That's everything you need to know. So, since last time we saw each other, of course I've made transfers. That is what I do in the off-season, boys and girls. So, don't say so again, Rex. I have a habit of saying things over and over again. Who did we sign? Who did we sell? Well, starting off with the sales, there's nothing to speak of. We didn't sell anyone that you don't already know about. But we did sign people that you didn't know about, starting with this youngster, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, and we spent £2.1 million on him, because if you remember, at the end of last season they gave us £10 million to play with, which, by the way, we still have £6 million of, but we'll go over how we got £6 million back in a wee bit. You might not be super happy with it, but he looks good. Ochia, welcome to the club, the Romanian man. He's a good rotation option, even though we told him he was a star player. Then we did make sales, £9.25 million worth of sales to be exact, and then signings, £8.5 million worth of signings. These are big numbers now, boys and girls, and you notice that they're not all free anymore. We are long past the days where we only sign free players, but we do still sometimes give them away for free, as you can see. Nunez has left the club for £72,000. Sad to see him go, but he wasn't at the level anymore. Adam has gone out alone. He's probably going to be sold as well, but I think he's the only original left in the club, unless you include our main man Holman, who was a scout, just out of, pure love for Holman. He was a legend. I guess if you're new to the save, you wouldn't know why. Go back and watch the videos. Nurse has left the club for $250k. Happy to get that fee for him. Then CS left the club for a small fee, so yeah, one of the originals is gone, unfortunately. Radonjic, who was quite a good signing last year, has gone for a little fee as well. Duz has gone for 100k, he got upset, so I had to go. Would have liked to have kept him because he was a homegrown at-club player. Then that striker that we brought in last year was sold for £150,000, happy with that. 500k for Zazalai, who wasn't starting this year, and I didn't think would ever start again, so happy to get that. Loaned out a youngster. And Etete has left. I don't know. Yeah, I think I regret it, if I'm honest. I think £8 million just kind of came to me and it was tempting. He wasn't even upset. I'll hold my hands up and say he wasn't even upset. And he had scored 7 goals and 1 assist in the first 6 games. I'm not sure why I sold him. Actually, I am sure why I sold him. It was because it was £8 million. And as soon as we got the offer for him, I found this striker. And I kind of thought to myself, this man's ceiling is higher than Etete's, and as much as he is a star, maybe Gabriel Martinez is the future, and I get a net profit of £6.7 million. I think that's exactly why I did it. Not a great debut, no goal, 6.5 rating, but I'm expecting good things from him. For only £1.5 million and a very small wage of £5,000 per week, he looks like he's got the stats, the makeups of making him a really good striker. Advanced 40 fits all of the stats what you need. 15 vision even as a bonus, 15 flair. A bit more pace would be brilliant. In fact, that's what I'm going to now start training him on. That is a great idea, Rex. So complete forward attack, which you can play, by the way, which shows how different we have come, how far we've come, because previously no one could play complete forward. But he's not the only signing we made, but potentially one of the best. Jake O'Brien, who currently plays for Everton, just did something against Arsenal. I can't remember now, but I watched the game today. I can't remember. We brought him in for 400k, which I think is awesome for a centre-back that clearly has really good stats. 6'6" as well, 16 heading. Great stats across the board. I think this is a brilliant signing. Cannot believe we got it for only 400k. Another youngster, this one £2.8 million, but I think a really good deal for a wonder kid. I'm calling him a wonder kid. I'm using the W word. 20-year-old Argentinian right back who looks like he's got every single stat and the potential to become the best right back in the league. Well, he already is actually, but one of the best right backs in the world. You already knew about Below, who's coming to the club. Very good Hungarian player coming from one of the other sides in the league. So I just can't believe we managed to get him in on a free. Only £9,250 will be a starter for us next to likely Jake O'Brien for most of the season. Stamenic has also joined the club on a free. He was on loan last year. We knew that was happening as well. Another youngster brought in, £825,000, potentially a bit much for a 2-star current ability player, but I think if he reaches that potential, then it was obviously a bargain. So we're taking a gamble, and at 18, he can become a homegrown at-club player. Next up, we brought in Alejandro Marquez, who's a Venezuelan man who's been previously sold for £7.25 million to Juventus in real life, which makes me think he's got something about him. And he's already scored 1 goal, got 1 assist in the Champions League qualification games as well. His stats look tidy. I think it's a great second choice striker and winger if Martinez doesn't end up hitting the floor running. Next up, we've got a Spanish man by the name of Jarek, I'm going to call him, or Jarek. He's got good stats. I think it's between him and Sola. Well, it definitely is between him and Sola for the starting left back. But there's not a lot in it. I kind of did take a stab in the dark and hope that he would be a lot better than Sola. I think he's marginally better, but he's not quite as much better as I hoped he would be. But £4,000 per week and only £675,000. I think it was the risk worth taking, and I'm happy to have him. And the last one is a goalkeeper who's coming for at 19 years of age for £2 million, could eventually rise to 2.9. But I think his stats and his potential make that absolutely worth it. And also, 6 foot's not that tall. I thought he was taller than that for some reason. But he's got a cap for the Romanian national team. For some reason, we keep scouting in Romania. He thinks he's going to be the first choice player. He is going to be for this first game in the Champions League, which, by the way, we got into by just having to beat APOEL, which of course is the Cyprus team. We all knew that. Let's not act like we didn't know it. We knew it, and we smashed them. And the league's been going fine if you exclude one blip in there, a 4-2 loss. But it seems to be blip central for Ferencváros again. 1 draw and 2 losses. At the start of the season, they did the same thing last year. So fingers crossed we can win the title once again, as we are currently top. But the Champions League is what we care about, as we see our first game is against Metz, which I think is a great test. A league-earned side, but not a crazy good one. And in terms of our games, we've got one against Real Madrid, Lyon, Manchester United and AC Milan. I think the rest are quite winnable. Freiburg, Getafe, even the Lyon one is pretty, we need a good day to win. We have beat Besiktas in the past, and Metz I feel like we could really beat. So fingers crossed we do exactly that. And this is our starting lineup for the game. We've got Martinez up top. We've got Ochia, the new left winger, starting. He wouldn't normally be, but we do have some injuries currently with Colwill just coming back from an injury, not ready to play just yet. Sibley just coming back from 1-2, who is actually able to play 60 minutes. So let's get Falusi out of there and onto the reserves. And Below, who is currently out with an injury as well. So it's close to our best 11. Ochia in there, Forgax, who is still the man, even though he's gone down to 3-star current ability after 3.5. Still think he's very good. Matondo, who you know about from last year. You know about this guy, but we didn't really mention him too much. List is, I think my focus on the youngsters overshadowed how good this guy actually is. Don't pay attention to the 2.5-star current ability. His stats are really good, so I'm trying to give him some more game time. Owani, still going to get some game time, don't worry. He scored 1 goal and 1 assist in the Champions League so far. But I just think he is quite good, and I overlooked him all of last year, so he is coming in and starting. Stamenic starting in the CDM spot. Then we've got the new left back, Jarek, starting in there. O'Brien, Kramer coming in as a result of the injury to Below. Of course, we've got Kovacs, who is going to continue to be playing some games here and there, but probably the same as last year. You know, if we think we're going to win it in the league, he'll start to develop him. Then we've got our new right back, Pochettino, easy to say, just like the manager. And then we've got the new goalkeeper in between the sticks. But Rabolo is still planned to be the starting goalkeeper, but I wouldn't be opposed to selling him if we get a bid of like £2.5 million, because to be honest, I don't actually think he's worth that much. Still some great players on the bench that you know about. No one to mention or write home about too crazily, but the youngsters like Horvath are still going to get game time, as we learnt last year. How much it makes a difference to give those youngsters time, even if they apparently only have a 4-star potential. I reckon playing players like Owani or even Falusi, who I just put onto the reserves, I think is a really good idea just to help progress the club. Because this save ain't a short burn, it's a long burn. And you can see that by the way we're making our signings this year. Martinez, a youngster, the left winger, a youngster, the goalkeeper, a youngster. But we're versing our French side, Metz, in our first game in the Champions League. So let's not focus on the future, let's focus on the now, because we need to win this. And please comment down in the comment section below if you think that my game is a little bit laggy. It has been bothering me all day. I can't tell if it's just in my mind or my game is actually laggy, but I think it's laggy, and it's really been bothering me all day. I've been playing for hours, and every time I get into a game, I'm like, it looks laggy, but I don't. I've turned everything else off. Just please tell me it looks laggy. It looks laggy. Tell me it looks laggy. Otherwise, I'm going crazy. Ceballos going for the shot, and I'm talking about lag when Danny Ceballos is in the ball after 1.5 minutes and puts it right into the top corner. A part of me says, I'm taking that with a pinch of salt. I mean, I know they have scored after literally 1 minute and 30 seconds, but look at that. That is just absolute top bins from Danny Ceballos. A bit of personal excellence that you can't replicate. You know, you can't pay for that. That's just unlucky. It is what it is. If we concede from this corner, I will start to panic. It has come into them, and they've played it in, and Sane has it, and it's hit the woodwork. Okay, it may be a less tight affair than I thought it was going to be. I really did think we would give Metz a seriously good challenge. Right now, we're not doing that at all. Here we go. 2 shots for us now. Getting back into it a little bit more with possession, 45%. That's not too bad. Slowing down their shots, getting another one there, 49%. Okay, we are well and truly coming back into this game. It was a shaky start. We were all nervous, and now the boys are feeling encouraged. They're feeling a lot better, and hopefully we can get a goal to even things up and make it more of a fight throughout the rest of the game. As we have the highlight right now, Martinez, our striker, whipping in the ball. A stark contrast to where Tete would have been last season. Martinez on it. Playing it into Matondo. Matondo into the man that I told you about. Listes, I think I'm going to say. Listes. He's a great player, man. I don't know why I didn't play him more last year. He's already scored a few goals in the league so far. And it is, to be honest, just because of the Sibley injury. But, mate, he's a good man. He's a good player. He scored again in the Champions League. I know he scored in the 6-3 win against, I can't remember all the letters, but the Cyprus team. But he's now made it 1-1 this game, and with 10 minutes to go, we now look like the better of the two sides. 9 shots to their 4, 61% possession. It is completely swung back into our arena, and the only players that I think are really frightening me, I'm looking at Mope. He must be like 35 at this point. That I don't think that's actually. I think that's just factual. I think he probably is about 35. Ceballos again, probably in his 30s. Odriozola. Again, must be getting on. Soria, I think we had the chance to get him on loan, and I didn't want to. So, boys, I'm not happy with the performance so far. I reckon we can win this game. I think this is a very, very winnable game. Our squad on paper is just as good, if not better, and that is coming through in the scoreline and the highlights and the XG and the stats right now, as we are definitely coming back into it. And Jarek is showing that he might be the right choice at left back. Well, I mean, left backs aren't exactly meant to be scoring goals, but he scored a goal there to put us 2-1 up. It's not a flash one. It's come down to him. To be fair, he's hit it on quite a nice volley. It's come down for ages. Oh no, it's come off Mope. It arguably could have been an own goal. Actually, that looked like it was going off target to me. But they all count, and that's the important thing. And we have another chance. It's Listes who's hitting the woodwork, to be fair. But the goalkeeper made it look worse than it actually was, because he didn't dive or do anything. So it just made me think it was going miles wide of the target. We are going to make. I'm not bringing Kramer off. I just don't think I can bring myself to bring Kovacs on at this big of a stage. Martinez is coming off. He's just not been great. I don't really want to, show him that I'm going to be too patient. Like, if he's not scoring, he needs to start scoring at some point. I might leave it there. I've been known, you guys will know, to make too many subs and mess things up. So, 2 good subs there. The striker, the central midfielder to get more fitness in there, and Okeke actually being our captain at the club. Does make sense to bring him on. Well, actually, it's Barnes-Abel technically, but vice captain is Okeke, and Barnes-Abel hardly ever plays anymore. So Okeke, he's pretty much the captain. So that leadership on the pitch is important, and he's come on and he's shoring things up as we have another chance. It's Ochia putting it into the back of the net, making it 3-1, and that should solidify the win, and it has solidified that we are the better of the two sides. even though the goalkeeper should have done much better there. 63 minutes gone, 30 more minutes to hold on, and I now actually think I feel comfortable enough to bring Kovacs on, as Kramer is getting more and more tired. Matondo as well, 8.4 rating. I'm going to bring him off for... let's go Horvath, who again is a youngster. No, Raxo, you're overdoing it now. You're doing too much. He's having a great game, 8.4. You don't need to bring on a 17-year-old. You're only 3-1 up. If you concede again, you're going to start to panic. It's going to be stressful, and you're going to wish you didn't do that. So, yeah, good call. It is them on the ball right now, as Asoro is running down the right-hand side. Plays it into our new left-back, and the goalkeeper makes a good save there. I mean, the first goal, I don't think he could have done anything about. He's clearly had a few more shots up against him because they have a decent-ish XG. So he can't be having too bad of a debut here. A 0.93 XG, 7 shots, only 2 on target though, to be fair. But it's not terrible stats, 6.9. I like to see it. He's got some room to improve. Now I am going to make that substitute, bring Horvath on that inside forward on attack. And then we also have youngsters that are looking tired in the central attacking midfield position. So let's get Ioane on. He scored a goal, got an assist in the build-up matches. So I'm giving him the chance to come off the bench and do something here. As Ochia puts it in, comes straight back to him to get a second bite of the cherry, but puts it into Ioane. Thought he could do something there. It has come back to Ioane, and he's got an assist as Jarek gets his second goal in the game. And now it's certainly making me think, yeah, he's probably the player to keep playing. I think he might end up getting the man of the match too, because his rating skyrockets to an 8.7 there. Matondo getting 2 assists. Not going to be enough as we come through with a 4-1 win in our first ever official Champions League game. Yes, I know we played qualification games before the season before last, but this year, proper Champions League win in the league. Us around Liverpool, Ajax, Man United, Arsenal, AC Milan. We are as good of them according to the table right now. And £2.4 million and £12 million when we got into the Champions League just to start with. So our bank account is looking very, very good. And I don't think that we haven't had financial struggles. It's when we start to get bigger and bigger wages is when we're going to have financial struggles. But right now, our biggest wages are, it wasn't OTT. It's Stamenic, £14,000. So we're really light on the wages. But I guess to progress, we're going to have to eventually start paying 50,000, 100,000 sort of pounds to get the players that we need. But the £10,000 boys seems to be doing the business right now. I'll see you at the end of the season where hopefully we've done a respectable job in the Champions League and hopefully we've won the Hungarian division again. Well, I simulated all the way to the end of the season because I went on holiday and I really enjoyed the save, so I just finished it, sorry. We won the league again, which was a huge surprise to me. As I said last season, I didn't expect us to be able to do it again, but we have managed to do it by a staggering 16 points. Ferencváros have been way off pace. 7 draws, 7 losses. We only lost 3. But you guys want to know what happened in the Champions League, but I'm going to make you wait a wee bit because we sold some more players, we signed some more players. First off, we sold Miranda for a very small fee. He was a covering player that we brought in on a free transfer. But then Sola has left, who was a good left back, of course, for £4 million because throughout the season, our man Jarek turned out to be a world-class left-back, and I'm very happy for him to be starting game in, game out, and he's a touch younger than Sola. In terms of the sales, we brought in £1.7 million worth of Ayari, who used to play for Brighton, but has moved to Malmo, I'm assuming in real life, as well as in Football Manager, but I'm not 100% sure. He's quite good, and a good central midfielder option. Hasn't played an insane amount of games, but a very good option to have as a rotation player. And then secondly, £1 million for Marinkovic, who's a regen striker, right winger from Serbia. And he's okay. I thought he'd have a bit more potential. Maybe I slightly overpaid for him. But ho-hum, it is what it is. Champions League. Not bad, not great. I mean, we did manage to get through the league phase. We managed to finish down in 23rd, so right at the bottom. It has been a while since I touched the save, so I completely forgot that. But then we managed to go up against, I believe, Lazio in the first round. And of course, we got knocked out to them, which is unfortunate because it was the same. How do we go here? Profile. League phase. There we go. It was the same team that knocked us out in the Europa League last season, which is, of course, a little bit haunting. 3-1 nil. But we had improved this year. This year we managed to beat them 4-2 at home. It was 4-0 at one point. I thought we were going to absolutely annihilate them. But then we lost 4-1 away from home. So it meant that we didn't go through. Pretty gutting, but it is what it is. They did end up going quite some distance into the Champions League quarterfinals. Well, with 2 more rounds, that's all right. We'd be stoked with quarterfinals, but I think we've put ourselves in a good position to get into the Champions League next year, with of course only 1 qualifying game, just like this season. And our team has improved, so can't whinge about that at all. The end of the season was a bit of a sad moment as we lost in the cup with Ferenc scoring in the 85th, 93rd and 96th minute. We cannot seem to beat them in this cup competition. The Hungarian Cup, the last few years, has continued to be Ferencváros dominating us with the runner up there. Hopefully next season we can finally win the first Hungarian Cup for ourselves. But we will take the league. The league is the more important thing. Champions League is the more important thing. So it is what it is if we do end up continuing to lose the cup. In terms of our best team, you'll see what happens as we go through the season review. Because to be honest, I can't really remember. Gabriel Martinez scored 12 goals and 5 assists. He ended up finishing the season in much better form, and has become more of what I would think of as a striker, although in my mind I think he might actually be a cam. His stats seem to suit it a wee bit better, but with still having Forgax with a good potential, I just can't really justify playing him down as a cam, and we're still winning the league, so can't be too disappointed. Team of the year players ended up being just Matondo, which is quite surprising, but Matondo has been good. 18 pace, it takes you a long way in this game, so I can't whinge about that. Top goal scorer not going to Martinez. Forgax winning Youngster of the Year, with Owani coming just behind him in second place after being the top goal scorer for us at one point with 5 goals, but didn't manage to add to that tally throughout the season. And Kovacs, who has continued to excel, but started to be trained as a central midfielder. Because as he's 18 years of age, I don't think he's growing anymore. He never grew. He never got taller than 5'9", so I can't see myself playing him as a centre-back. He doesn't have good enough crossing for left-back either. So a central midfielder, deep line playmaker is where I'm going to try and train him, and hopefully he becomes that. I'm manager of the year, of course I am, and the season review is coming in just a second. So not a crazy sweep of awards for us, but a very dominant affair for us throughout the season. Not like any one player that hugely stood out, but the new signings that we brought in, like O'Brien, did really well. Like Pochettino, he was quite class as well. He's got great potential, great current ability, and wanted by a lot of clubs. So hopefully we do keep a hold of him next season. Stamenic, of course, signing in on a proper transfer. Very good. Cole will continue to be pretty decent as well. And then our left back. Who was our left back? Oh, yeah. Jarek. He was injured at the end of the season. But yeah. World class, great player. Season review, come on, give it to us. I'll pause. Always the next simulation. Title winners, of course, and O'Brien winning the signing of the season. We did make some good signings. Even Marquez, by the way, very good signing. Ended up being a great rotation option. 12 goals, 4 assists. Jarek, top player. He was okay. I forgot to mention him. He was an awesome signing. Free transfer. A+, of course. 7.01 average rating. Martinez, as I said, decent, not bad. Pochettino, great. Ayari, okay. Goalkeeper ended up becoming the new starting goalkeeper. And in fact, we're now getting rid of Rebolo, unfortunately. He just isn't the star anymore, and we got a good bid in for him. And I believe we also have someone else. No, we don't, Rex. So that is in the future. Reveal that in the future. And then this youngster was fine too. He's been okay. You know what's happened in the league. Moments to remember, and never that interesting. Got more money because, of course, Champions League makes a huge difference. £30 million is awesome. Matondo, a surprising top sales person. Stamenic, Ayari, Below, and Marquez. Wouldn't have guessed. probably any of them, to be honest. But this is a squad that I would agree with currently. Listes ended up complaining a lot about his game time and played very well in the game time we gave him. 8 goals, 7 assists from 11 starts and 12 off the bench. Sibley had his quiet year. He just actually wasn't as good. And Boa ended up starting quite a few as well as a result of some injuries to Pochettino, I believe. So he only started 17, but I still would definitely put Pochettino in there. O'Brien below Jarek, and of course the new goalkeeper, Robert. We're just going to have to call him Robert, aren't we? But Jake O'Brien winning the player of the season. I mean, it's cool to see a centre-back winning it, but it just shows the lack of star power we have at this current moment in time with the sale of a Tete, who, by the way, only scored 2 goals and got 3 appearances starting, 20 off the bench. So definitely a super sub, but didn't actually seem to do a whole lot. Top goal scorer Martinez, nothing crazy here. It was a good year, just no huge stars, and hopefully a better progress for our youngsters, as I say, like Forgux, even like this right back, left back French dude, like Kovacs, like Oani, but has gone down to 3.5 star potential, which has pained me, but I still back him to become a great player for some reason. Best 11. Best 11 is looking about the same. New players being added was Robert is now on the bench. Robola's in the starting lineup. I still don't understand, even with a poor season this year, how Sibley isn't in the starting lineup. He was incredible for us. Matondo probably knocking on the door past Nunez. But yeah, I think that's probably about my best 11 too. And it's nice to see that the board just want us to continue qualifying for the Champions League to get that money. And then eventually they want us to challenge for the Division 1 title, mate. We've already won 2 on the bounce. My goal is definitely to continue winning that. And I've already done these off camera, so I'm not going to bother doing it. I think this is where we're going to wrap up this video. Very quick one from me, boys and girls. I cannot remember what I teased in the first one, so apologies if there was something I was meant to check, but I didn't. But this is the end of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later.